Hello guys, and welcome back to SimCity, Cities of Tomorrow, and we are here in Vaultopolis, which is going to be our production city, and as I've been thinking recently, probably a little bit of trade as well. All of our cities require money to sustain themselves, and in most cities that's generated by having residential areas, commercial and industrial, and just taxing the crap out of them. Now, of course, we're going to struggle doing that a little because we're not going to have as much in the way of population here. Most of the building space is going to be taken up by huge, unsightly production buildings. So we need to find another way of generating our income. Now, that is probably something that we are going to do using trade, and we'll actually export quite a lot of the stuff that we sell. If we look over there, yonder, we can see the very ugly mega towers of Vaultville in the distance. So we've got some money coming in. We are actually making a fair bit of money, all things considered. And that's only tax income as well. That's not actually counting our income from trade, which we do have a little bit. But also that's not counting our outgoings from trade. Of course, we are buying in oil, which we need for the Omega Co. Now, there are a few things that we do want to get up and running here. What's Omega Co griping about? Omega demand is high, but current production rates cannot meet industry needs. Additional factories and production lines will increase production rates. But we will be able to build the Omega HQ. We can actually afford to build the Omega HQ. But before that, let's just have a look at the Omega Co. Oil's not really a problem. It's actually raw ore that they're struggling on. Not too great on workers. We do need to get... We are going to need a fairly decent population just to be able to get people in. But let's put another production line on there anyway, just to get things up and running. We do need to think about expanding our residential a little bit more. These areas here actually seem a little bit small because people aren't building on one side of the road, which is a little bit of a pain, but not completely unexpected. We could build a little bit more up in this direction, so I guess we should go ahead and do that right away. So let's just build these roads out. In fact, we can connect these ones up. It's not wanting to do that because the road isn't straight. Maybe it is. Oh, well, we'll just destroy that anyway. And we'll go across there as much as we can. Now we can go all the way across to there, which is good. Come back down and join up with that. And we'll bisect these two this square there. And I'm just trying to maximize room here because I know I've spoken before and said I don't really like to build sort of square roads and maximize the amount of space usage, but considering we are going to be building some very big buildings here, we're really going to need to be able to do this. So let's go a little bit more with the residential there. We'll get some residential along the back there, though there isn't much space for it. And we've still got room to build out in this direction, which again, I don't suppose will have any harm if we do that. So let's build out roads in this direction. That's not going to join up very neatly, is it? Oh, look at that. That's terrible. Could we go that way a little bit further? Yes, we can, but then it won't join up with that. Sometimes the road system on this game really upsets me. Fine, it's going to be another janky road. Deal with it. And we'll put a road across there. Now that's quite futuristic, but we'll put another road across there, and then we'll go into zoning and go residential, residential, residential. Done. Job done. So, demand for residential actually quite high. Maxis Manor, of course, which was something that we still wanted to do. And I said that I would do in this city. And I still think I'm going to do that, actually. So, let's see if we can afford it. It's under police. And it's 40,000. So, no, we can't afford it. Let's speed some things up. And let's have a look what we've got going here. So, the trade depot wants us to build a trade HQ. Well, we do want to do that, so we'll add it to our list of many quests. Instantly, we've already completed that mission without having to do anything, which is nice. I think you only have 3 missions at once because there were some others that had appeared that have now disappeared, but I'm sure they'll come back. Seems to be having some problems with fire still. There's a fire in the city, but the firefighters are on it. Okay, that's great. So, what are you telling me? Still a few buildings getting burnt down, though, which is quite a strange thing. You know what we haven't done, of course, is we haven't put on the fire alarm, which doubles the response speed, and we will put another engine on, I think. I think we're going to need it. That's cost us a little bit more money, of course. They want us to go for the bigger fire station, but it's a little bit pointless at the moment. As you can see, is that a helicopter or a drone? I think that's just a helicopter, isn't it? Yeah, that's just the news helicopter. We don't have the drones yet because we don't have the Omega Co HQ, which is something that we will be getting. Now, what was that one? I can never remember what that is. Oh, the Expo Centre. Yeah, we're not doing tourism in this city. That's going to be in our education city. But we are making money, which is good. What have we got going on here at Town Hall? Building archaeology. We may get around to that at some point. We're going to need to be able to manufacture commercial goods, televisions, before we can do that. Let us expand the ore mine a little bit. And the reason I say that is because if we look at our Omega Co factory, down here where it is, we're alright for oil, because we're buying the oil in, but we are struggling a little bit to get a decent amount of ore. So, while we can still afford it, let us purchase another ore shaft. Unfortunately, we can't build on this side of the road, which is a little bit sad, but we can go out in this direction. We can build over here. We could build another ore mine over here if we need to, which we probably will at some point. I mean, obviously the wealth of these houses isn't going to do particularly well. We may even need to smash them down at some point. I'm not sure if another delivery truck is necessarily required, but I'm going to put one in anyway. So we still need to do Maxis Manor, and we need the Metals HQ as well. We should probably get onto both of those things quite quickly. That's going to be the Dr. Vu thing as well. Not sure why we actually need Dr. Vu and what he actually benefits for us. Yeah, I don't actually see the point of him, but Maxis Man might not be a bad idea if we can afford it. So, we're still running at full speed. While it's doing that, let's go and have a look at the ins and outs. As you can see, we are getting a little bit of money from tax. The Omega Co itself's making us quite a bit of money, so it's definitely worth it if you've got an industrial town just to have Omega Co running. If you actually look at our monthly transactions, which is a little bit weird because your expenses and income is done per hour, whereas your transactions are done per month. And as there isn't really a calendar, you just have individual months. It doesn't tell you what day it is. How many hours is in a month? That's the question. So as you can see, we're selling coal. We're also using it internally. And we are buying crude oil. So we could well have a little bit more coal. Now, what do these guys want? These are people that want us to make it a little bit more futuristic. We are getting some futurism, of course, because we've got the Omega Co franchises, which are turning their little factories into futuristic factories. Apparently, we are struggling a little bit with water. Okay, that's fair enough. Let us get another water pump in here somewhere. Let's pop one on there for now. That should be enough. We will actually have a water plant on there at some point, but that should solve the immediate water problems anyway. Are they still griping about that same thing? Oh no, he wants to do the fireworks fun again. I thought we already did that once. I'm going to say yes, because I think we can do it. Because I think we've already managed to do it once before. So let's go ahead and do that again. Now I'm considering... Oh, what's going on here? Omega Co requires water. Oh, I thought we had the water problem solved now. Maybe we don't. What have we got going on here? Okay, so apparently we still do have a little bit of a water shortage. I honestly thought we'd solved that problem. I think we have, although what we could do, of course, is if we connect these roads up, that will give another avenue for the water to get across, which should help. We are getting some injured Sims. Now, we're getting quite a few deaths per day. We do have a clinic here. Obviously, it isn't working very well. So, let's put in an ambulance. Don't think we need any patient waiting rooms. Oh, no, it is at capacity, actually. So, yes, let's put on patient waiting rooms. Hopefully, that will clean that issue up a little. Obviously, we're going to get quite a few warnings from fire now because we've got that little mission going on, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So, we have enough money to place Maxis Manor. It's not the biggest of buildings, so that's not too much of a problem. Now, where should we have it? Should we have it near our residential? I don't think it's a bad place to actually have it there. Let's pop it in there. So, there we go. It instantly creates a lot of happiness all around. And now we can see some of the criminals. So, there we go. We have Maxis Manor with our little superhero Maxis Man. Let's just put things on to normal time. So, we have all of these various different things that we can do. He is costing us 900 simoleons per hour. And it does cost us money to send him out to do stuff. So, we're going to click to save injured. That'll cost us 500. And he'll go out there in his little sort of... It looks like a mini. Oh, dear. Let's follow him. There is a way of doing this. Ah, come back. I want to click the follow button. There we go. So he's going to heal an injured person. Except he's stuck in traffic behind some sort of futuristic car transporter. Where's he going? He's taking a very strange route to get to wherever he's going. He's just cut somebody up at an intersection. Where are you going? Maybe he's going around and helping all the injured people. So he is quite useful because he doesn't just deal with crime. He also deals with injured people as well. Although he does seem to be driving around in circles. Okay, fair enough. Now, there are certain upgrades that are available to Maxis Manor as well. A lot of these require renown points, and you can build things like the Turbo Machine garage. You need 50 renown points to do that. It can also have his little sort of flying helicopter type thing. But it's going to take a little bit of time before he will get up to that level. But he will deal with the criminals eventually, at some point. We should still probably get a police station, but bear in mind we are actually getting some of our police coverage from Vaultville as well. So, I think while we still have some money, what we'll do, we'll put in another coal mine, and, well, another, what do they call these? A shaft. We'll put in another coal shaft. Not a huge amount of coal here. We're going to head off in this direction and head towards this stuff. The reason we're going to do that is, of course, we are selling the coal, so that's one of the ways in which we are making our money. There's an upgrade available for City Hall. So, let's go right ahead and do that. Now, we could build on here the extra things we need. We've already got most of these in the region because we've already got them in Vaultville. So, the only things we don't have is tourism, transportation, and education. And I could already build one of these in Vaultville anyway if I wish to. I don't think there's necessarily a benefit for placing one in a town if you've already got one in the region, because all it's doing is costing you money to place it. It's costing you money per month, or money per hour to maintain it, but you don't necessarily get any additional benefits from it because you've already got the benefits that you had from the one that's in the region. So I think we'll leave it for a little while because we don't really need to upgrade it. We did manage to complete that fire mission, so that's another 50,000 in the bank, which is good for us. Right, what's going on here with Maxis Man? What does he want? Save the poor injured for a nominal fee. So, what is actually this mission? Have Maxis Man heal 3 Sims. Well, he is out on patrol, so we'll just leave him out doing his thing. Now, there are still some academic attraction. We might need to get an academy just so we can have some of the futuristic buildings in this city, because we are going to need to be able to maybe run the bigger power plants later, particularly when we're getting a lot of industry. What have we got going on here? Oh, this is the mission to clean up a lot of trash. That one's usually relatively easy. So I think we will actually go for that one. That is one that is within the realms of possibility. Amiga Co does seem to be managing now. It's still struggling a little bit to get in a sufficient amount of ore. But hopefully we are doing that. So, let's look at the missions we've got. Plop and Metals HQ. That is something we should probably get on with. So, we've got our ore mine, we've got our coal mine, we want a Metals HQ. Now, this building takes up a fair bit of room to start with. And, to be honest, all it does from there is get bigger and bigger. So, I think what I'm actually going to do, let's cancel that for a moment, I'm going to build a road. Just a small road, it doesn't need to be massive. And I'm going to build it out in this direction. And then I can build it on here. So, we're just using up a lot of this empty space in the middle. There is obviously coal over here, of course, so I've got to be careful. I don't want to build it right on top of the coal, because I might need to extend my coal mines down in that direction. Obviously, these are the sort of buildings that we don't want to have to destroy. So we are going to take our Metals HQ, and we're going to pop it down right there. So now we have our Metals HQ. And it is currently hiring. So that mission goes away. There are world leaderboards for this thing as well. Now, obviously, there are things that you can add on to it eventually. Things like a commerce division, an engineering division, and a smelting division. And they require certain things for you to be able to do. But it does give you regional access. So if we get a commerce division, we can actually have a trade port, and we can have coal and raw ore storage at the trade port. We would like a trade port. It'd be a great way for us to make us some more money. If we get the engineering division, we can get an enhanced coal mine, and the smelting division will give us a smelting factory. So we're just waiting for it to hire. We are actually making quite a lot of money from the stuff that we're mining, so we're already working towards the daily profit. It's when you get up to the top that you can expand it to the next level and add the next thing. Now we also want an Amiga Co HQ as well. We're still going to speed things up again a little bit. Let's just keep our eye on Maxis Manor and what's going on. What do they want? Yeah, sell a bunch of coal or raw ore and we'll add a few floors on the top for you. So, yeah, we're going to take that. So, if we earn 160,000 in profit, which we are working to, we'll get the upgrade for it. Not a bad thing. Where did we drop down Maxis Manor? There it was. Let's get him to go out and treat another injured sim. So, what have we got going on now? We know we've got trash problems because that was the little mission that we had going on. Now, where is our dump? It's up here, isn't it? How many trucks do they have? They do have 2 trucks. We'll put an extra one on, just to help with the load. Still seems to be having a bit of problems with health, to be honest. Now, where's our clinic? It's over here. What is it you are struggling with? You're at capacity again. Really struggling to deal with the number of sick people. So let's put in another set of waiting rooms. Hopefully that will help. I'm trying desperately not to spend every bit of money I have on services, because that isn't going to help me. So we're getting a bit more of a demand for low wealth commercial. We're still getting a lot of demand for residential and some for industrial. Well, what we could do, we don't have a lot of demand for commercial, so we could go ahead and make this commercial, because that was our commercial area before. We've got quite a few abandoned houses here, actually, that have burnt down. If we get rid of these, they will rebuild, and that will certainly help deal with some of the housing issues. I think that's all of them. I think factories are all good. Oh no, we've got 1 there. I think that is the last one. We've completed that mission, which is great. So that's another 25,000 simoleons in the bank. Are any of these houses ready for upgrading yet? There are a few of them, actually. Not many. So what we could do is we could upgrade some of our roads. We've already got up to medium density, actually, with these roads, but they still haven't expanded yet. Let's medium density up these roads along where the commercial is. case they wish to expand, because they might do. And we'll do some of these little bits of roads around here. Oh, went high density there. Wasn't what I was aiming for. But we'll get some of these roads upgraded as well. That's one's already medium. There we go. So we'll leave it at that for now. Hopefully that will help with a bit of the expansion. What have we got here? We can build a mayor's house. Now, of course, mayor's house does help with happiness. So what we're going to do is we will build it here. And that should help the happiness around here. It should help these buildings reach a high density, which should be good. Get some more money in the bank. Now, we've got a fair decent amount of money, actually. So, what have we got going on here? What is it you want me to do? Plop a smelting factory. Can we do a smelting factory yet? I do not know. Let's have a look. Smelting factory. No, we can't. We need the smelting division first. But we've got the mission to do that. What we will do, of course, because we can, is we can build the AmigaCo HQ. And that's quite an ominous looking building, isn't it? Can we have it facing this way? Yes. Which way should we have it facing? Let's have it facing there. Okay. So we have our AmigaCo HQ. Now, what do we do with this building? So this actually shows us how many franchises we have, and it actually shows us the profit breakdown for those individual franchises. And like the Metals HQ, we can add a robotic division, which gives local access to a drone assembly line, safety level, and fire drone, medi drone, and law drone hangars. Only local access, though, which is quite strange. Extraction division, local access for extracting the ores and the oil straight from the ground and pumping them straight into the AmigaCo factory. And the commerce division, local access to VTOL pad, heavy lift VTOL pad, raw or crude oil and processed trade port storage lots. Regional access to AmigaCo regional trading. Regional access to augmented coal and ore shafts and oil well. I'm sure you don't actually need to have a robotics division. I thought the robotics division was actually region-wide, and you just needed a factory to produce the drones. I'm sure that's correct, actually. But we will check when we get the robotics division, because we can go back to Vaultville and have a look at that. Shouldn't be all that much traffic on this road. I don't know why these vehicles are struggling to get in and out of AmigaCo so much, but they are doing their thing. Demand is high, but current production rates cannot... So, wow. And there's a bit of a worker shortage as well. So what we're going to have to do is put on another production line. So that's the maximum number of production lines we can put on. It's saying deliveries are slow. I don't think we've actually got any more trucks. We could put a VTOL pad on when we get a commerce division. Use my words. So they are going to be struggling for a little while. Population is growing. Still not massive. We're making a decent amount of money, so I'm happy about that. We are going to send Maxis Man out again. He's a little bit useless in some situations, but once you sort of bulk him up, it does make things better. I'm still quite happy with the amount of money that we are making. You know, we're making a fair bit from AmigaCo, we're making a fair bit from taxes, we are selling some stuff as well. Of course, we have had a few mission rewards, which are always helpful. And we are getting our way to being able to expand the Metals HQ, which is another good thing. Getting there. Smelting factory we can't do yet. You still need to go out and heal a few more Sims, because you're being quite tardy about it. Okay, so we made 51,000, well, we made 51,000 from mining last month, which is quite nice. Happiness is generally good. We're still running at full speed. Obviously, we're just accumulating money while we're waiting for stuff to happen now. So, what else do we need to plant down here? Well, we're not doing any drilling in this area. Trading, of course, we are going to need a trading HQ. That's something else to consider. So, let us put down a trading HQ. And I think our... Now, where are we going to put our port when we get it? Because we do have access to sea, but only a very small area. I guess we could put the trading port here. Or we could put it next to the rail, which is probably going to be a better place for it, and we can trade by rail. So I think what we're going to do is let's put our trading HQ right here. And again, this is another building that can be upgraded with things like an electronics division, a metals division, and a petroleum division. We won't be having the petroleum division really, because we don't really deal with fuel, though we will have plastic storage lot, I suppose, at some point. But we definitely have the metals and the electronics here. So things are progressing nicely. We are making a... We need to make 12,500 simoleons per hour in franchise profits to be able to upgrade the Omega Co HQ. We're certainly getting towards that, and it's not too far out of our realms of possibility. Now, electronics. We could have an electronics HQ here and have an electronics factory, which we probably will. We won't be really bothering with anything from culture or gambling because we're not doing tourism here. Mega towers, I don't think we'd necessarily want to bother with in this city. And the academy... What is it you actually need to get? Have 5 high wealth residential buildings. We're probably never actually going to bother with an academy. Still struggling with Omega Co at the moment, actually. Oh, power shortage now. Always a good start. So let's have a look at our coal mine. And we can now build advanced coal generators. Right, so what's the difference? It produces the same amount of power. Produces the same amount of power but burns more coal, but causes less pollution. Well, I'm not too bothered about the pollution. This is an industrial city. And I don't really want to waste all of my coal in doing that. So, it's getting all of its coal locally. I could tell it to also buy in any coal that it needs, but it doesn't really need to because the coal we are producing is enough for it to run. That's absolutely fine. Sewage is still being dealt with nicely. Garbage is being processed away nicely, so there's no problems there. Still having problems with Omega. Omega deliveries are slow. There's not an awful lot we can do about that. We could build another factory, but I don't really want to. It's going to take up a lot of space. We've already got the maximum number of production lines that we can have on this one single factory. I was hoping that would be all we needed. That's certainly going to cause a lot of purple smog. How are we doing? We're actually dropping down in hourly profits. It's certainly not a shortage of raw materials, although it didn't help that the power went out slightly for a little while there. That certainly caused us some problems. We are having problems with water now, so it is time to get ourselves a water pumping station. And we are going to put this here, where it is going to be most effective. And we are going to bulldoze away this... Actually, we won't get rid of the hydro pump yet until this place is actually fully staffed. But let's add... Well, it'll never be fully staffed, let's be honest. But let's add another basic water pump to that. And then once it is up and running, we'll get rid of that water pump there. And that should be another problem solved. Quick check over at Maxis Manor, which I keep losing. It's over here next to the church. Send him out again. He still only managed to heal one injured person so far. Bit of an idiot. Only managed to get 92 people in... Oh no, 92 people today. Yesterday we had almost capacity at the church, which is quite good. Can we expand Maxis Manor at all yet? No, still doesn't quite have enough renowned points. Also, when you get buildings like this, if you actually go on to this button, you can see down here that our police force, we're actually getting coverage from Vaultville. So we have 3 patrol cars from Vaultville helping us out, and we're not covering anybody else. If we have a look at our clinic, as soon as I can find that, which is over here near the road somewhere, if we look on our clinic, we can see that we do have coverage from 2 ambulances from Vaultville helping us out. And again, if we have a look at the fire department, We don't actually have any coverage from Vaultville at the moment. Certainly nothing being volunteered, although that doesn't mean that things won't still come and help us out, because of course they do. Fire trucks are slow getting where they need to. Can't do an awful lot about that right now. Town Hall is ready for another upgrade, so yeah, sure, why not? Money is doing well. Actually making an awful lot of money here. Omegaco is still struggling though. This is going to be our big problem. So unfortunately the building still requires sim workers. Omegaco drones programming prevent themselves from self-replication. Okay. So basically more residential. We are starting to get a bit of growth around. Didn't really want to have to build an awful lot around here because I did want to save this space for building our big buildings. But needs must. If we actually need to get some residential in, then we will get some residential in. Don't forget, we always have the option of destroying houses and buildings later on and moving things around. So let's do that. Let us go and zone some more residential. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's probably time now to get rid of that. It was causing a bit of futurization, but it wasn't really important because there were no houses or businesses in the area, and it has no effect on these ploppable buildings anyway. So not to worry too much about that. We're certainly getting a bit more profits coming in now. We're up to 9,300 out of the 12,500 needed, so we're definitely heading towards that. Question is, am I going to build another Omegaco factory? I certainly don't want to. These want to increase upgrade roads to increase density. That's not a bad idea, actually. Let's start getting some of these roads done. If these places are ready, let's let them increase. Might as well make this high density. It is an avenue, but it'll certainly help with traffic problems, even if it is quite expensive. I actually made it now so you can upgrade it to... Oh no, avenues can be upgraded to streetcars, but not roads. That makes more sense. Let's upgrade this as well. It'll certainly help with the traffic issues a little. I think we might... yeah, let's go straight to high density up there, actually. See how much of an effect that has on things. This is already medium density around here. Not seeing any real demand for upgrading. We're going to upgrade this, of course, because it's got some traffic issues here. We'll put these up to high density as well, just in case they decide they're going to increase. So we are still making a bit of money. We're actually doing very well here now, actually. We're up in the realms of almost 300,000. So while I think about it, let's go and pay that bond off. There's not much of it left, but we might as well get rid of it. That's certainly going to help things out. Still doing quite well on taxes. Of course, we're also making a lot of money from selling stuff. But you've got to remember that natural resources will eventually run out. So there will come a time where we actually run out of coal and metals and things like that. Looks like some of these streets could be ready for upgrading now. I know we did some of them, but we didn't do all of them. So let's try and get them all to at least medium density if we can. Wish there was an easier way to see which ones you had done and which ones you hadn't. That's an avenue, of course. Although we should probably make that into a high-density avenue. Because that's going to help with some of the traffic problems. Not an awful lot, but it will help a little. And let's make these into medium density. And these ones as well. Okay, we'll leave that at that and see how that goes. Maxis Man still hasn't completed his mission yet. Like I said, he's a little bit useless because he costs money. Not only are you paying money to have him there, but you're also having to pay every time you want to send him out on patrol. So he does cost a lot of money and he's not all that useful, but it's actually worth paying the money not to have to keep clicking the stupid mission and telling it over and over again that I can't be bothered to do it. So again, as always, the only complaints are coming from Omegaco, just saying the demand is high and we can't actually supply everybody that we need to. It certainly doesn't appear to be a problem with raw materials. We don't have a lot of workers in here. Now, even if we're assuming that this breakdown might be incorrect, only having 75 workers out of the maximum number that it says we should be able to have isn't very many at all, really. So we certainly do need to get some more workers. Again, we don't have any medium or high wealth either. So that might actually be a consideration. Maybe we do have to consider getting ourselves some high wealth people in. So let's have a quick look at that. We know we can do that by placing down high wealth buildings like parks and things like that. So at the risk of destroying some of our residential housing, let us just pop something in like that, and hopefully we'll get a bit of improvement along there. That might help things. It might not be the case that it doesn't have enough workers. It might just be the case that it needs some medium and high wealth workers to be able to sort things out. As you can see, it's hardly got anybody working there at the moment, which is quite frankly ridiculous. We are still struggling with raw ores, although we are getting some deliveries. Can we build more? Yes, we can. Let's go in that direction. And let us put another truck on there so we can help with those deliveries. Good stuff. So we haven't actually made any daily profit at the trading HQ, and that's because we're also buying oil in. So we are selling stuff, but we're buying almost as much stuff as we're selling. So I don't think there's an awful lot more that I can do at the moment. Of course, we've still got to sort these Omega Code problems out, but we are now up to 400,000 simoleons and making 21,000 per hour, which is quite nice. Of course, if we all start working together in the region, we can all help each other out and provide the things that we are all missing. As I said in the last video, there are still some open slots in the region. I haven't invited anybody yet because I want everybody to have a fair chance of being able to claim the city that they want. So remember, if you would like to participate in the region, send me a PM through YouTube, tell me why you'd like to join, and give me your Origin username so that I can add you to the friends list, and then I'll let everybody know when I intend to do the invites, because I think you will need to be online in order to do it. And I'll start inviting people to the region. And remember, if you do get in, please be considerate and just claim a single city plot. Let's give everybody a fair chance to be able to get on and play. So, I hope you're still enjoying the series, guys, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.